You've probably heard it 1,000 times. A little inflation is good for the economy, but is it really good for you? Or is this just another economic fairy tale? Today, we're digging into one of the most controversial claims out there. Inflation is good for you. Says who? Let's find out who's spinning that yarn and whether it's true. Inflation, rising prices, shrinking wallets. Some economists defend moderate inflation, saying it boosts spending and encourages investment. Meanwhile, the rest of us cringe when we see our grocery bills skyrocket or our rent creeping up. So, where does this idea that inflation is good for you actually come from? Let's follow the money. Proponents of inflation, like certain central bankers, argue that mild inflation keeps the economy humming by motivating people to buy now instead of waiting. After all, if you know prices are going up, you'll want to grab that car, that couch, or that new gadget before it costs more. Sounds not half bad on paper, right? But real life isn't a neat little theory. While some inflation might stimulate the economy, too much inflation is like a stealth tax. It erodes purchasing power, punishes savers, and can quickly spiral out of control. You might get that TV sooner, but watch your paycheck shrink in value as everything else gets pricier. That new couch you bought today might feel like a steal, but the rent, groceries, and energy bills all steadily climbing. Not so fun. It's not all doom and gloom. Some folks actually benefit from inflation. Businesses can raise prices more easily. Debtors pay back loans with cheaper dollars. But if you're on a fixed income, or you're just trying to save for a rainy day, inflation is like a secret handshake that leaves you out in the cold. And guess who else often benefits from moderate inflation? Governments. They get to pay off mountains of debt with devalued currency, effectively reducing the real burden. So if inflation can be bad, why do so many experts fear deflation more? Think about it. If prices keep falling, people may postpone purchases, businesses lose revenue, wages fall, and the whole economy grinds to a halt. Deflation can be a painful trap. Just ask Japan, which has wrestled with low growth for decades. That's why central banks aim for a Goldilocks zone, somewhere around 2% inflation, not too hot, not too cold. Here's the kicker. Inflation wouldn't sting so much if wages kept pace with rising prices. But guess what often happens? Prices shoot up faster than your paycheck. And that's where the theory of a little inflation is good meets the cold, hard reality of I can't afford my rent anymore. At the end of the day, mild inflation might help the big picture economy in certain ways, but it can still hurt real people if wages don't keep up. So, is inflation really good for you?